Good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Joana Gomez, the event management for Oaxaca, Colombia. I present to you Becky Cardoso from the company Global Gap. Thank you all for your assistance. Welcome, Becky. I guide you the work.
Thank you, Joanna. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending our conference about Statutory Audit and HBII Audit. I'm going to start our presentation. Let me share my screen with you, and please, if you have questions after this, we are going to be happy to answer those questions. As Joanna said, I'm Becky Cardoso, one of the founding partners of Global Gap. Our company has been performing these activities with our clients for 10 years now. So first, I'm going to start with who is an auditor. So first, an auditor is a professional, is an expert on all the company matters, financial matters, or the legal topics that your company has to comply with. Your auditor is there for you when you have a problem. Is there to give you a feedback regarding your compliance and your team, and is part of the gear of your company. So the way that you think of or approach your auditor is the first thing important in an audit. Then you have to think of the power of team. So I have this sentence in Spanish, which is cualquier poder si no se basa en la unión es débil. So if you team up with your auditor, everything is going to be fine in your company. Then how do you find your auditor as part of your financial team? So first, you have to engage your auditor. And to engage your auditor, you have to think about your culture, and then you have to communicate as well. Because if you communicate to your auditor what's going on in your company, how things are working, what are your challenges, then your auditor is going to be able to help you. But if you don't, then the auditor won't be able to help you. It is important also for you to take into account the auditor independence. Your auditor is a third party, independent from you, is an outside person that can view things differently. So that's why it's important to share topics or what's going on with your auditor. Your auditor needs your help. Actually, we as auditors really need your help to learn about your business, your problems, your goals. And these words that I have here, confidence, support the process, and purpose, is what you have to give to your auditor. Everything that happens in your financials, everything that happens with your company is a process. So we are there to support your process. You have a purpose, so it's important that we know what your purpose is. And you have to trust us. If you trust your auditor in the advice or in the updates that your audit team gives you, everything is going to be working better in a better way or in a good way at your company. So thinking about your audit process, how do you do your audit process? First, you plan the audit. So in planning the audit, it is very important to learn about your audit team, what activities are going to be performed during the year, what are the different documents that you expect to get, that's important, the deadlines, like all the plan during the year. But after that, what is important? First, review if the goals were realistic, or if it was something that was planned and was not done and needs to be performed the next year. Then you need to evaluate the performance of your audit team. So every year you need to call your team, your audit team, and tell them, I was pleased with your service, with everything you did, or I was not happy about this, I was expecting this and I didn't get it, or if your audit team was really good and everything worked out okay, it's important to mention it. At the same time, you need to evaluate the performance of your accounting team and learn from them if you were happy with the service of your audit or your revisoría fiscal. Then you have to give the general management, if you are from the financial team and then you're not the general management, it is important that you give them what I mentioned here, meaningful information, so that they get from your team all the feedback about the audit, if everything went well, like if they can trust everything in the financials, or if it's something to improve and change, that should be communicated to them. And even though if there is something that is nothing to communicate, it is important that you tell them everything went right and we are happy to be working together. That's important to communicate as well. Actions points to improve, and that should be part of the plan of the next year. And that could be the challenges of the coming year. And lately we have been facing many challenges, like COVID, like the war with Ukraine, and other many challenges that happen individually at each company. So this is very important. So for some companies from Germany, there are two things that you have to be doing kind of like the same time: your statutory audit and your HB2 audit or external audit. So I wanted to mention here also what I really think is important for your HB2 audit. First, it is very important to have an updated version of your accounting principles from the headquarters, your group accounting principles. And if you don't have it, ask for it, because that will avoid mistakes on the report. And if you learn this over the year, that will be great, because you don't have to do everything at the end of the year. It is important to understand those policies. And if you have questions, then I think a fluent communications to the headquarters and to be able to ask them is very important. Then have a summary of these policies in your local language. It could be, in our case, Spanish, it could be Portuguese. To have your team learning this and to have it in their local language makes them to feel like there are their policies and to be aware of them. Also, you can make a list of the difference between HB2 and HB1, and that will give you kind of like an overview of what will be the adjustments between the two financial statements. Maybe it won't be difference. Sometimes, and most of the times, there are some differences. So that will be a good starting point to learn where the differences are coming from. As I said, always contact the headquarters to answer your doubts. Make sure that the HB2 reporting is clear. So usually in the HB2 audit process, we have two important documents. One, the accounting principles from the group audit, and then the Excel format of the report, or it could be in a platform. So it's very important that you understand the structure, and if something is not clear, also find out. The other thing is address the technological challenges of sharing files, of the reporting, like anything that could come up is related to technology. It's important to bring it up early in the process. And this means your auditor for common understanding. So to plan the dates, to plan to understand, both of you, to understand the policies in the same way. Sometimes you could think that this takes time, but actually could save you time and could avoid mistakes. So this is very important to do, to be aligned with your auditor. That's very important. So then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is when we went, your company or companies in Colombia have a statutory auditor. So by law in Colombia, there are two thresholds, one related to assets and the other one related to income. So if the company has more than 4.5 thousand million on assets, should have an auditor, and with the income, the threshold is 2.7 million. So that's very important if you focus on this and you review your thresholds. So another thing important to, when you have to have a statutory audit, is for non-profit entities, for sucursales or branches, for health service providers, for stock companies, except SAS. And something interesting also is that if you don't fulfill these thresholds, you still could have revisor fiscal or an auditor. So you can have it anytime if you want. Then I just wanted to share, this is our team at Global Gap, who is able to answer any questions that you have related to statutory audit or external audit onto in HB2, under HB2. And I just wanted to share that this year our company is our 10-year anniversary. So please stay connected to us, because we're going to be doing different activities related to financials, audit, and everything that is important to know in the financial area in Colombia. So thank you all. This is what I wanted to share today with you. So I don't know, Joanna, if there are any questions.
No, Becky, no question.
Great. So this is what we wanted to share. Thank you very much for your time. And as said, please stay connected to us, or for us to share information with you all. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you all for your assistance.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.